Welcome back, everybody. Now we're on with the next phase of development. I was able to get the engine to crank over now. I bought a high torque Proform starter from Advanced Auto Parts today. It was like $205 after tax. I've got a temporary fuel system hooked up to the engine right now with the Schrader valve, and you can see that it's actually maintaining on leak down a bit. It was running 45 psi. I have it set up with a small vessel here, and it has an in-tank pump that's submerged inside the gasoline. So I have jumper cables hooked up. The other set didn't seem like they would handle that much amperage. I think these starters are like 2 or 3 horse or something like that. But I mean, she will spin over, but I don't have any power on the injectors or anything like that, or the PCM. Seems like it's cranking over pretty good. So I'm gonna maintain the battery and then look at this control wiring one time and see if we got spark. So what I figured out with the spark, so if you look at the ignition control module, the second one next to this pink, the gray one, that goes to, I think it was the black plug, pin number 5 or something like that, which is the signal coming from the PCM to tell it to fire. And then I had this white wire over here, and I couldn't figure out exactly what they were trying to do with it. I looked at all the pins and everything that were in the PCM. I didn't see a spare one or one with a broken wire. It looked like everything was where it was supposed to be. So I checked continuity between this wire here and the plug on the ignition coil, and I also checked continuity between this white wire and the gray wire there. So in logic, theoretically, it should still get the ignition control signal like it's supposed to get. I don't know why it's like that, but it is what it is. So we're going to try this here in a few minutes. Thanks. Well, I made a huge mistake. Luckily, nobody got hurt, and I even saw this last night, and I couldn't tell you what the heck. I got distracted or something, but I don't have a pin for this baby right here. It only moved like, you know, 1/8 of a turn, maybe a little bit less. But all I did was, I'll just repeat what I did. So you got a little fuel system control module here, and you just allow that to run a little bit. So that way it doesn't have water or anything in it yet. So you just, oh, we got to hook this up here. And this is how you turn it on. And this is how you turn it off right here. That jumper I have hooked up right there. We'll see if it'll start. Just like that. I didn't have it pinned. I just need to make sure that was safe really quick. I'll get right back to you. Alright, I figured that would get this thing to connect. I haven't tried to read this file yet, but I have the data logger turned on. So what happened was I would try to start it, and then it would turn off. I don't know if the VATS is still active, but usually, typically on F body, I think, when the VATS is active, it won't even try to crank or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure that it might have something to do with that, but that's kind of strange that it would just shut off like a LS would if you didn't turn VATS off. So I can just basically do the same thing again, and then just cycle the pump momentarily, make sure that there's some residual fuel pressure for it to fire, and then see if we're actually connected by trying to start this up. It might be a little bit loud. That's basically what it's doing. So I'm going to stop now. Alright, so after the last test, I was thinking about this, and I think this would be a good time to save this initial log, close it down, and then see if we can actually read the properties or the program of that PCM. Now that I've proven that I've gotten it to connect to EEHAC and we can data log it, I'm going to analyze that information a little bit, which really isn't quite so important as much as actually reading the program that's on the PCM. So I think I'm going to try to do that really quick, and then we'll see if that works, and then I'll show you what happens. Alright, now why don't we take a look and see if we have the same issues as before. Now I'm on Flash Hack. So I selected COM 9 already, and I want to see if this will actually read the calibration. It's been setting for a little bit, whether it will or not. Looks like it's doing something now, doesn't it? I mean, once it starts to turn to solid green, I would say that that's good. I didn't hear that relay click though. Usually the cooling fans will click on. I think that's what that other relay is, to be honest. I'll have to look at it and see where it goes exactly. I was getting kind of some biased information on that, but yeah, it looks like it's reading now. I won't bore you anymore. Thank you. Looks like I successfully saved my file. It was Corvette first read, do not touch, something like that. Now I have to look at some of these bin files, or actually they're XDF files, like a DXF file. That would be like on a CNC machine that would use to transfer a CNC program from a PC to a machine. An XDF file is like your blueprint, your framework for your OS, if that makes any sense. It's like a mirrored image, kind of sort of like your operating system. That's the way that works. So this is where I'm going to get confused. I might be able to figure it out, and if I do and it works, I'll show you what I did. Okay, so I understand this might get boring at times and stuff like that, but I would like to give you a closer look where I'd selected the certain file in Tuner Pro RT, and the XDF file is eex.xdf. So what I did was went into the folder that started with EEX something, I think, and then went into the one that had the EEX XDF as a folder, clicked on that, and then selected that page as the XDF, if that makes any sense. But looks like it kind of works. You go into here and do selected drop downs. All this different stuff that you can do. It's going to take me a minute to go through it. It has some stuff with automatic transmission. I have to set it up for manual. My goal is to actually plug it into a 95 Z28 and get it working like that, if it's possible at all. But yeah, I'm going to look at this for a minute and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Alright, looks like we pretty much have it all figured out right now. It's going to take me a little bit of time to work this out on Tuner Pro RT and stuff like that. So I'd like to conclude and say that it looks like we made some progress, and then I'm gonna figure out exactly what the issue is, why it would start up and stall like that. I'll probably figure it out. I've just been figuring it out on my own anyways. I figured it might be helpful to somebody, you know, to document some of this stuff, but it looks like it's going to turn out all right, and I think the engine is good. I looked at it, everything's clean, oil looks good. I think I got a pretty good deal on this. Thanks for watching.